welcome to the Predictive Playbook. It's Tuesday, July 6th, 2021. We're all recovering and trying to get back up to speed from our big weekend of picnics and barbecues and golf and who knows what else. But I'm sure it was a great weekend for everyone. We're going to talk about the Euro 2020 Semifinals, specifically one game against Italy and Spain. I also have a really terrific betting angle of the day for Major League Baseball that I'm going to the window on. And if time permits, Adam Trigger, who is our guest today, will talk about some baseball, which is always good. Welcome to the show, Adam. How was your weekend?
Thanks, John. My weekend was great. I was in Boston with a bunch of people all weekend, and we went to the Red Sox game on Thursday. Aside from 3 solid days of rain, we had an awesome time. We made the best of it, and I had a great weekend. How about yourself?
I can't complain. First time since I can remember, I played back-to-back days of golf with my sons. So it was pretty
Great.
good. Let's start with the Euro. And being a former chief currency strategist on Wall Street, when I say the Euro, it immediately makes me think of the currency. But we're not talking about currency here. That show comes on later with Steve Merrill when we talk about Bitcoin and the charts and what's going to happen next. Actually, that happens at 11:45. So about half an hour from now, look for that show to be coming out. But we're here for the Euro 2020. So let's take a look at the game that Adam has a pretty good breakdown here. It's Italy starting at 3 o'clock today, Eastern Standard Time, against Spain, who is more than lucky to be where they are right now. I watched that game, Adam, with Spain and Switzerland, and I was having a cheesesteak, and I kept looking at the TV. Red cards. Switzerland has to play with 10 men. They went 45 minutes and did not allow a goal. It was one of the most incredible things I've seen yet in soccer. I didn't even know it could happen. But Spain survived in penalty kicks. So here they are playing Italy, who's one of the hottest teams around right now, 5 straight wins. Spain has gone win, draw. And when you do the breakdown, too, there's been a lot of questions I've gotten on Twitter, direct messages. People don't realize that when they bet the regulation or they bet team to advance, that they are totally different animals.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, these people are coming up on the wrong end of the bet. They think they won, but actually they lost because it was a tie at the end of regulation.
Sure.
So at some point during your breakdown, that would be a good thing to explain because you are an expert at this kind of stuff. So take it away on this game. I'm interested to see what you have.
Yeah, so we've got the Euro 2020, the first semifinals this afternoon. Italy versus Spain, and I think, John, you said it best when you said Spain survived. That's pretty much been the theme for Spain this tournament. Back-to-back games now where they've needed extra time to advance, and then, of course, in the Switzerland match, they needed penalties to advance. And I don't think so. I'll probably have a rated selection in the next game. I didn't get to the point where I like this enough to put it out as like a 3, 4, or 5 unit play. But I do have an angle here, and I guess it kind of goes off of I don't think Spain is going to survive a third straight time. It's now 4 of their last 5 matches. They've only won one of their last, they've only won one match at Euro 2020 in regulation, and I think they kind of keep getting by against teams that are just a slight step down in terms of quality than they are. And I'll look at the last 2 matches. I know they blew a lead against Croatia, but I talked about Croatia quite a bit in this tournament, not being the side they were that made the final in World Cup 2018. And then Switzerland was a side that I liked and I cashed with in their previous match. But again, still, they were pretty exposed by Italy in the group phase, and I don't think anyone ever had Switzerland as a side that was going to really threaten to win Euro 2020. So I think the fact that the Swiss were a PK shootout away from advancing against Spain, says enough about where Spain is at there, and this was always going to be a transition year, in my opinion, for Spain. They they're still kind of coming out of like they're bringing some younger players up through the ranks, and I just don't think that this is the Spain side that we've seen be a big time contender for the last decade plus in big time European tournaments. So it's just from a high level view, it's hard for me to see Spain in a Euro final, knowing that, coming into this tournament, I didn't really have them as a big time contender. And I don't think they've really done anything to change my mind. I think they just keep getting by against slightly lesser teams. Now, a team that's definitely changed my mind is Italy. If you've been following my plays, I've been betting against Italy in spots this entire tournament. I hit with Austria, fading them in the round of 16, but Italy got by. And they knocked my play out. I had Belgium to win the whole thing, and I backed Belgium in the quarterfinals. And Italy put on as good of a performance as I've seen from any team so far in this tournament, beating Belgium 2-1. Italy is, they've got 11 goals scored by 7 different players. So, Spinazzola is probably out today, but I don't think one player is going to make a difference for Italy. This team's really deep. And like I said, they have completely changed my opinion of them from what I thought they would be coming into this tournament to what they look like now. England's looked really good, and Denmark is a great story. But of the 4 teams still standing, Italy looks to be the best. They're actually on a 32-match unbeaten run. They have not lost in 32 matches, and I think they're going to outlast Spain here. So my recommendation for this game, for a bet, and I'll call it a 1-unit play. I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to actually give it out as that, but I like Italy to advance here. And you can get that at -145. And what that means, and you want to really check your book and check the rules and make sure you're betting the right way, Italy to advance means they're going to make the final, whether it's a win in regulation, a win in extra time, or a win in penalties. It means they're advancing out of this round. So you're going to want to, kind of scroll down to the bottom of the screen, because if you're in the 3-way market and you see Italy +145, that's the wrong bet. That's the win in regulation. And the PK, or the draw no bet is roughly similar. I think it's like -135 or -140, but that means it's either a win in regulation. If it's a draw, it's going to be a push. So what I'm looking at here is Italy to advance. It's in the -140 to -145 range, and I think there's just a little bit more quality here than what Spain has, and I think Italy finds a way to get to the final.
Very good. Now, so the difference in the money lines, so some places have money line parentheses regular time. That's the 90-minute benchmark. So whatever that result is, so if you bet Italy and it's tied with Spain at the end of regular time, you would lose the bet. If you bet the draw, of course, you would win. And
Yeah.
Team to advance is actually what it means. Team to advance means that no matter how long it takes, that's the line. So
yeah. So I'll just break down the options real quick so you know exactly what you're looking at. The 3-way market is the most common market for soccer betting. Okay, you're going to see 3 prices. You're going to see a price on Italy to win, Spain to win, and draw. And that 3-way market is always in regulation. So what that means is the +145 on Italy to win is Italy to win in regulation. The +220 on Spain to win is Spain in regulation. And the +220 on the draw means at the end of 90 minutes, the match is tied. The next market you're going to see is the draw no bet. It's also listed on most American betting sites as the spread market. Okay, so you've got there's going to be no draw option there. It's just going to be a spread. So it's going to be a spread for Italy and a spread for Spain. In this case, the spread is PK, or what we would call draw no bet. And you're going to see Italy -135, Spain +115. What that means is if either of those teams win, you win your bet. If this goes to extra time and ends in a draw after 90 minutes, your bet is a push. You get your money back. The only way you can lose that bet, of course, is if your team loses in regulation. And then finally, the market that I'm interested in today is the what we'll call 2 qualify or 2 advance. So you're going to see some books list this in a completely different section. Some list everything on one page. You might need to scroll down. But you're specifically going to want to look for 2 qualify or 2 advance. That's how every book has this up, and it essentially means which team's going to the final. Doesn't matter how, which team's going to get to the next round. And so for me, I'll lay the 145 to have Italy to advance for a small bet. I don't have I don't have all these overwhelming angles, but from what I've seen in this tournament and just the way I expected Spain to come into this tournament in more of a transition year, I think they will be in a better position to play for and contend for a title come the next World Cup 2022. But for me, I just can't see Spain winning. I just cannot see Spain winning the Euro this year, and for that reason, this team, the Italy against Belgium, they just look like a team sort of possessed. I had Belgium there. I thought Belgium would be the team in this spot, and if Belgium was in this spot, I would have probably unloaded on Belgium against Spain. So for me, Italy to advance minus 145 seems reasonable. I think that's a pretty solid play for this afternoon.
Yeah, I like it, Adam. I like it a lot. And I think what I'm going to play personally, based on your analysis, I like this prop bet England and Italy meet in the final. That's plus 140. It's the favorite of the 4 combinations. England and Spain is plus 175, so a little bit bigger underdog than the one I mentioned. Italy and Denmark plus 450 is unlikely. Spain and Denmark, if you're you want to take a big flyer, that would be one that nobody would see coming. But, in the NBA Finals, we never saw the Suns and the Bucks coming either. So,
John,
anything's possible.
Let me just comment on that too. I think it's definitely a good bet. But also, you should always be doing this and trying to manipulate the market in any way possible for you to make the most money. Before you bet, if your book offers England and Italy as the final matchup at plus 140, first go see if your book allows you to parlay to advance and see punch in a parlay of Italy to advance and England to advance and see if it pays better than 140, and obviously take the best option, because sometimes the parlaying the two, which is the exact same result, it's the exact same bet, but depending on how they have them priced at your book, you might get plus 150. You might get plus 145, and you should always be any little edge like that where you can steal 10 cents here and there is gonna help you in the long run. So I would if you like that bet, the one John recommended, which I definitely I haven't really formulated a firm opinion on England Denmark yet, but I kind of feel like England Italy is going to be the final. So if you like that outcome and you want to tail that bet, make sure that you see which way is going to pay more, because some books might have it priced where they have that price plus 130, plus 140, but if you parlay the two, it's probably plus 150. So always it's another version of shopping around.
So it's a great point. I have the only I agree 100%. You should do it all the time. The only problem I see is England's almost a 3-1 favorite. So if we parlay the 2 money lines together, it's going to reduce the payout quite a bit, but it's still worth looking at, and I have models that'll calculate that. So it's good info for sure. So that'll be our take on the Euro. I have with the time left, which is about 6 minutes right now. I'm going to take about 2 of it. I'm going to show you my betting angle of the day here. And this is the Toronto Blue Jays at the Baltimore Orioles. We have obviously 2 teams in the same division heading in opposite directions. Toronto is 4 games over 500. Baltimore is 30 games under. This game starts at 7:05. The only certainty right now is Steven Matz, a left-hander, is going to pitch for Toronto. Hunter was listed at one point, and another guy who escapes my mind right now was listed after him. Now there's nothing listed. And as you'll see, I don't care who's pitching for Baltimore. I am going to be on Toronto because when you bet on American League favorites of minus 135 to 200 as posted on the money line, and you'll see what I mean by that, favorites are starting a pitcher working on at least 7 days of rest, which Steven Matz is. The favorite starting pitcher has posted an ERA of 4.20 to 4.70 on the season, and the underdog is batting no better than 2.50 on the season. This has gone 73 and 60 using the run line. So whatever that money line figure, minus 135 to 200, as long as our line is between that, which at the books at Circa and Westgate right now are listing it as that, and of course it can change with the pitching change, but it's not going to change that much. And if anything, if it does change, it's going to make Toronto a bigger favorite. So if you are able to get this on the run line now, I think you might be getting a really good price because I don't see any pitcher on the Orioles that would start and cause this line to go down. So over the course of 5 seasons, this has hit 55% on the run line, but you've been playing a dog wager. So the $100 better has made over $2,000 and a terrific 22% ROI just blindly doing this. Further, one of my favorite player prop stats comes into play today, and I would recommend putting George Springer in your DraftKings lineups as well. He and his respective teams have attained a 20-14 record when he is coming off a game getting 0 hits, and the team had the previous day off. 4-1 with Toronto so far, and 164-101 for 62% while a member of the Astros. So this is a situation where we have a tremendous hitter who rarely goes back-to-back games with no hits, coming off a game on Sunday where he did have 0 hits. So this is a even more juice for the play. So regardless of who pitches for Baltimore, unless of course it's.
So John, I'm looking at. It looks like my screen just updated with a picture here for the Orioles.
Who do you see?
It looks like it's going to be Spencer Watkins, which tells me that it's probably
it's a call-up.
So yeah, they actually called him up.
Yep.
Pretty cool story. He was like out of base. He was about to take just like a coaching job, and he's like 28, I think 28, 29 years old, and he was like going to take a freshman coaching job, like a high school coaching job, and the Orioles signed him. And they called him up like last week. He threw an inning in relief, and now he's getting his what looks to be his first major league start tonight. So it's Spencer Watkins. I don't know if that means it's a bullpen game or if they're going to actually let him go. But either way, I mean, I would probably think it doesn't seem like it's going to set up well for pitching for the Orioles. So I would say that your Blue Jays pick is probably pretty good on the run line here. I couldn't go against that.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Toronto probably about minus 180 on the money line, and then it's probably going to be slight paying money on the run line, but it doesn't. The play is on the run line.
Yes.
So that's the angle of the day. So, and then tie that in with George Springer and make sure you guys track him. I have dozens and dozens of the elite hitters of the league that do certain things after not having an RBI, not having a hit, not having a home run, going 7 days without a home run, for example, and they are powerful tools at the player level, no matter what team they're on. So that'll conclude that part. Adam, make sure you tell everybody where they can find your picks here before we sign off, and anything else you want to promote.
Yeah, so as always, you can find me on Twitter at TopFlightSI, and you can find me on Sportsmemo. Just go to the drop down. I'm under Top Flight Sports. My Sportsmemo shortcut link is sm.buzz/TFS. I will be posting. I've hit 3 of my last 4 baseball plays. I'll likely have an MLB play up for tonight. I didn't post this as an official play in the Euro, but once again, the Euro lean I gave out earlier in the show would be the only way I would go in the match today with Italy to advance. And I'm up 25 units in the NBA this season. I don't know if I'll do anything with tonight's game, but I'll definitely have a play at some point in the finals. And KBO, I'm 19 and 13 for 21 units in the KBO, and I am looking at KBO for tomorrow morning, and will likely have a play there. So I'll be posting a lot throughout the day. Some of it will be free as always. But again, anything I play, you can find me at Top Flight SI on Twitter or under Top Flight Sports at Sportsmemo.
Very good, Adam. And last but not least, there's my current streaks here. I will have an NBA play tonight. It'll be on the total, which has been running pretty hot here at 8-2 with NBA totals. Major League Baseball totals have been cruising along as well. I do have a Major League Baseball side up right now. I will have another play later, which will be a total. So make sure you get over there, even though it's $2 Tuesday. I think they're running $2 Tuesday, even though it was a holiday yesterday. But normally I reduce the price to $9, so it's easier to get 2 or 3 guys like Adam, myself, and whoever $2 Tuesday is, and make the most of it.
And
so
let me help you out real quick here, John. Listen, John's hit probably close to 70% of his NBA playoff picks going on over 2 years now, which is insane. So spend the extra $7, and that's that's where you should look for game one, because his playoff run has been like none other. So
I appreciate that, Adam, very much. Thank you. You know I struggle with the bragging part or promotion part, but I'm always reminded, it's not bragging if it's the truth. So,
That's right.
Just try to keep things well grounded, not too much hype. I guess that's fine.
Yep.
I have to adjust that little balance there between the hype and the enthusiasm.
We just need to pay D'Amico to hype for us. We need to pay him as our hype person, basically.
Yeah, my goal is to get to where I am now and where D'Amico is. I think if I could get the midpoint of that, we'd all be pretty good. That'd be pretty funny. Anyway, thanks for being on the show, Adam. Unfortunately, Jimmy had another commitment he had to take care of, and that's okay because this is a holiday week, essentially. And this whole month of July, we're going to try to remain as consistent as possible. But this is vacation month for people like us. Football starts basically August, whatever it is, and we spend a lot of time preparing and researching. In fact, Adam is going to be on a college football show soon in the days ahead with Drew Martin. I highly recommend that one. And Las Vegas Chris, who was 2nd and 5th in the circle last year for $1.2 million, is going to join me for the NFL. And we're looking to start that this week. So, be sure to be on the lookout for those. We'll do our best to promote those shows. And again, Adam, thank you for being on the show. Make sure, guys, you follow him, get his picks, and more importantly, get 30-day subscriptions. At least get the season subscription. Save yourself some money. Don't judge anybody on Sportsmemo or Wager Talk on a 5 or 10-star play, because if they lose, you get depressed a little bit, and that's understandable. But that doesn't mean the guy stinks. People are on Sportsmemo and Wager Talk because they know what they're doing, and they've had the experience of many, many years to prove it. So with that said, Adam, I'm going to take off here. So on behalf of Sportsmemo.com, WagerTalk.com,